570 WSYR, good morning. You know, foods sound healthy, right? But they may not be. There are some foods that sound that they're pretty good for you. You know, with the labels like fat-free or those kind of things. But I don't know, you know, you got to be really aware of what's going on. These foods may not always be good for you. Judy Gaman's our resident health and wellness expert. I'll take a fat-free smoothie, Julie. Judy, I can't go wrong with that, can I?
Oh, are you kidding? Of course you can. You know, it's not just what is in the smoothie. There's a lot of good things that are put into smoothies. Fruit, sometimes vegetables like spinach. But the problem is the size. I mean, every time you go into a smoothie shop, it's like they give you a gallon. It's just too much sugar. So, you know, if you do get that, divide it up. Or bring your own cup. But the ones that they give you, they're just too big.
Right. Break it up and give it to some of your friends. Is fat-free always fat-free?
Oh, are you kidding? The thing with these labels like fat-free and also you'll see light and see it spelled all kinds of different ways, and it's kind of a trick because it doesn't necessarily mean it's good for you. And the problem with fat-free things, you'll see a lot of candy that says fat-free. Well, it's full of sugar. And so we know that if we had taken too many carbohydrates, too much sugar, all we're going to do is turn it into fat anyways.
What are some of those other things like you see on Chex Mix and things? 0% trans fat?
Well, trans fat is the worst kind of fat, so you want to stay away from that.
Now, we talked about fat-free. We talked about, how about reduced fat? You see that a lot on peanut butter or other foods, reduced fat foods.
Well, reduced fat is one of the things that they talk about, and you got to be careful because reduced from what? I think that's the important thing you need to realize. If it's reduced from their regular label, then kind of look at it because there are different peanut butters you can go through the store and look at, and we always recommend that people get the organic peanut butter, the kind with the oil on top, and it'll say no stir. It's just better for you. But you just, again, you got to be careful when you look at these because there's just so much sugar that gets poured into them, especially the kinds that the kids like. There's always a decision that a shopper has to make between picking the right foods, the healthy foods, and the stuff that is cheaper. There's the balance of, you know, do I buy the healthier alternative or, you know, because typically these foods cost more. Well, that's exactly right. But there's one rule of thumb, very important if you're on a budget, and whether it's for just yourself or your whole family, carbohydrates make you more hungry. So if you're buying these sugary cereals because your kids like them, you might as well realize you're going to double your grocery bill because you're going to have to buy more food. Because whenever we eat processed carbohydrates, our body is hungry again in a very short period of time. And we eat not only more frequently, but we eat more food.
What are some other good alternate choices since we're talking about it?
Well, you know, let's talk for a minute about these energy bars because they are a convenient choice, but not all energy bars are created equal. Some of them can have a lot of calories. A lot of people grab them and think, oh, I'll have this at 10 or I'll have it at 2. But be careful because different energy bars, like the Cliff Bars, for example, are meant to be a meal replacement bar. And then there are some other bars like the Luna and the Pure Bars, which can be used for a snack. You always want to be very careful of the calorie count and also the fat content. They need to have a lot of fiber and they need to have protein, but not too many calories.
Just a quick thought before we take off on sports drinks, Judy.
Sports drinks full of sugar a lot of times, so you got to be very careful with those. And they're not all created equal again, but one of the things I always say, is be very, very careful of the artificial sweeteners that are put in there because you can get all kinds of side effects. You can get headaches, you can have muscle pains. Steer away from the artificial sweeteners, and also be careful what size of sport drinks you get. Again, they're supersizing these things. You don't need a gallon.
All right, Judy Gaman's a health and wellness expert on foods that sound healthy but may not be. 570 WSYR.